Hi, this video is for musical theater people like myself. So if you don't like musical theater and you don't like this video is not going to be really edited at all. If you guys saw a while ago, I posted a video when Taylor Swift's new album came out, when I was like obsessing over it. And I posted this long, like unedited video of me gushing over that. This is kind of going to be like that video. So not edited, and it's just going to be me geeking out over musical theater. So if that does not interest you, bye. But I feel like I need to defend my baby, my love of my life. So Into the Woods, okay? My favorite musical of all time. I kind of love every musical. Like, I love musicals. Well, I don't love every musical, but I love a lot of musicals. But Into the Woods is always, it's just like has my heart. I love Into the Woods so much because I think it is literally so incredible in every way. First of all, the music's amazing. Obviously, it's Sondheim. But the reason it's so good is because, I don't even start. I don't know. I just feel like, okay, I'll get into that. It's an incredible musical. There are so many themes and stories and lessons and genius songwriting and melodies that coincide with the themes and the storytelling, and it's just so freaking good. I love the show, but a lot of people don't like Into the Woods or are not big fans of Sondheim. First of all, how do you exist? But I know a lot of people actually who, when I tell them Into the Woods is my favorite musical, they're like, really? Or they admit to me that they don't like Into the Woods. And I'm here to defend my baby girl, okay? So I actually was having a conversation with Eric like a month ago or something, and he had brought up to me that he didn't really like Into the Woods. He's like, I'm always so surprised when you say Into the Woods is your favorite musical, because like I don't really like it. And I was like ready to break up. Like, not really, but like that shook me because I was like, how do you not like this show? It is so freaking incredible. So I'm going to kind of go into why I love it and why I think people don't like it. First, why I think people don't like it. I don't have a lot of time. I have like 5 minutes, so I'm going to finish this video later, but I had to get started because I'm riled up. I just had a very long car ride and I just listened to the original cast album of Into the Woods, and I listened to a little like speak lesson thing that Sondheim did on it. I've seen it a million times. And then I also listened to the new revival soundtrack that just came out of the 2022 Broadway cast recording, because I hadn't listened to it yet. I'd listened to like bits and pieces, but not the whole thing, because the original cast album has my heart. Anyway, I think that the movie ruined it. I think that Into the Woods, the movie, ruined people's perception and feelings about the musical. So the musical is amazing. The original cast in particular, the original cast on Broadway was so perfect, and it's just so good. And the movie that came out, I was so excited for because it's my favorite musical, and I was really disappointed. And I love everyone in the movie. Like, it's not like I hated anyone in the movie or whatever. I just feel like they totally missed the mark on what the show is, and like they took out all the jokes, first of all, which like Into the Woods is like very funny on stage. Like it's quirky, it's weird, it's funny, but it also has these really deep, incredible lessons and stories. And they took out like all that and just tried to make it serious, and it doesn't work if it's just like a serious show, because like, anyway, I'll get to that. So the movie is, I think that's the biggest reason why people don't like it. Like, they hear Into the Woods, oh, I'll just watch the movie, or I'll listen to the movie soundtrack, and then like, oh, it kills it. So that's the first reason, I think. The second is like, if you just listen to the soundtrack like just once through and not really pay attention 100%, there's not really many songs in the show that are like super catchy and stick in your head. Like when you listen to Hamilton like all the way through just one time, like you're gonna be singing some of the songs later in the day. Like you'll be like, oh my god, how do I remember that song? Like there's a lot of good earworms in a lot of shows like Hamilton, but Into the Woods isn't really like that. Like you're not gonna really be like singing all the words to the songs like if you listen to the album once. Like you really have to like focus and listen to it and appreciate it, and I feel like not many people have time for that or want to do that. Oh, also the movie cut the freaking narrator. Like, hello, like it's such a crucial part of the show, and there's like so many funny moments with the narrator. It like, the narrator is so crucial to the show, not only because it's the narrator, but also obviously because, hello, the father of Baker. But like, how did they cut that part? Like, hello, that's like why the baker decides to stay at the end. Is like after he sings the song No More happens. Like, hello, like, oh my god, it's so annoying. So like the movie messed up so many things. Like they cut things that were crucial to the story. They cut all the jokes. It was just so not good. Like, it was so not good. And again, if you like the movie, I'm so happy you like the movie. It's just a matter of taste. I don't really like movies in general, but I do think movie musicals can be done well. Like, I think Chicago, the movie musical, is amazing. Like, I do think that some movie musicals are really, really great. And I think a lot of them miss the mark. And I think that Into the Woods, unfortunately, really missed the mark and also made people have a bad idea of what the show is when the show is actually like freaking incredible. So anyway, I highly recommend you all go re-listen to or listen to it for the first time or watch the PBS taping of the original cast Broadway album. Okay, so I was listening to the newest cast recording of Into the Woods, and I hadn't really listened to the whole thing all the way through, and I was shooketh by a couple things. Number one, the girl who plays Little Red is phenomenal. Like, I think she's so good, and she does such a good job of like paying homage to like the original, but also like making it her own, but not doing it too much. Because sometimes people, I feel like they make it their own, and then like you don't hear like the original at all, and it's like, you know, you have like, it's nostalgic, these like classic Broadway shows. So when revivals are done, you want to hear it how you know it and how you love it, but you also you don't want people to copy them. You want them to make it their own. And I think Little Red in the new, she was my favorite of, and Sarah Bareilles is on that freaking album, and I love Sarah Bareilles, but I thought Little Red was amazing. Julia Lester is her name. She's amazing. I think she's so great. She made me laugh a couple times on the album, which is hard to do, to laugh out loud at something you hear on like an original cast album, especially one that you know like the back of your hand. Like, I know Into the Woods, I know every word, and there were a couple moments that made me laugh. Like in Your Fault, she did this thing that made me laugh so hard. Let me get to it.
The heart, yeah. She went and dared me too.
I dared you too.
You dared me too. She said that I was scared too. She dared.
No, I didn't.
So it's your fault.
Wait a minute.
That!
And you had let the heart.
I thought that was so funny. Okay, listen to the original. Oh, it's so good. Like, get out of town. Listen to how good this is. Sorry, I'm getting distracted now.
It's because of you there's a giant
Chip.
in our midst and my wife is dead.
And it isn't my fault I was given those beans. You persuaded me to trade away my cow for beans, and without those beans there'd have been no stock to get up to the giant in the first place. Wait a minute, magic beans for a cow so old that you had to tell a lie to sell it what you told. Were they worthless beans? Were they oversold?
Come on. Okay, anyway, I'm getting distracted. Okay, hold on. Okay, listen to the comparisons to the original, which I love the original. I'm not hating on the original because the original is like, oh, queen to me, but listen to the original.
She went and dared me too.
I dared you
You
too.
dared me too. She said that I was scared too. She dared.
No, I
So it's your fault.
Wait a minute. Hadn't dared him too.
Okay, so that's the original, and this is what she did.
She went and dared me too.
I dared you too.
You dared me too. She said that I was scared too. She dared.
No, I didn't.
So it's your fault.
Wait a minute. You hadn't dared him too.
That was so funny, and it was like such a risk to take like such a huge, like she made it so big, and I thought it was so funny. Anyway, the other thing that blew my mind listening to the newer album is that, by the way, I'm getting into the good stuff in a minute. I'm just getting distracted. Sarah Bareilles was singing in the song Maybe They're Really Magic. I thought the song went like this. No one waits when fortune intervenes, and maybe they're really magic, who knows? But what Sarah did was, no one waits when fortune intervenes, and maybe they're really magic, who knows? I think that's what she did. I have to remind myself. But I think she did that, and I was like, wait, is that what it is? Because Baker's Wife's literally my dream role, and I was like, have I been singing a note wrong the whole time? Or like, did they rewrite it? Or like, did the original, they just like did it different? I don't know. Okay, so hold on. So this is the original.
In betweens, no one waits when fortune intervenes, and maybe there is.
See, I guess it's questionable because she kind of goes, veins in. But I always thought it was up all the way, like, no one waits when fortune intervenes, and maybe there. That's what I always thought it was, but maybe she didn't do that. Maybe she goes, veins. Like, she kind of just sings it. This is what Sarah does. So what I thought it was, maybe when fortune intervenes, and maybe.
No one waits when fortune intervenes, and maybe there.
Veins, and maybe there. What is it? So now I need to go find the music book and see which one it is. This is not interesting there's no way anyone's interested in this. Okay, but I'm gonna get into the good stuff in a second, okay? But first, I'm gonna see if I can find the sheet music to that and see what's right. And also, I'm gonna go get dinner, and then maybe later tonight or tomorrow or something, I'll finish ranting about this. But I literally could make a 17-hour video about this and still have things to talk about. Okay, bye. Okay, you guys are gonna look. This video's not gonna be that long because I'm so freaking tired. So I'm also like losing steam, so I'm not going to be as passionate and crazy, which means I probably should wait till another day to talk about this, but we all know that then that day will just never come. So I'm just going to finish talking about as much as I can right now. But I did find the sheet music for Maybe They're Magic, and it is what Sarah Bareilles sang, and I knew it would be because she's like a musical genius, and I know she would have been like very particular about singing the notes he wrote. So it's so interesting to me that I always thought it was something that it's not. Waits when fortune intervenes, and maybe they're really magic. That's what it is. It's not what I thought, which was, no one waits when fortune intervenes and maybe... I was wrong. Fascinating. Not really fascinating. Fascinating to me. But you know what else is fascinating? So many things about this show. One being basically the whole show, not only is it full of wonderful themes and storytelling, like it's all these different characters and they all have this wonderful journey of like, they all have these wishes and dreams and hopes. And this show, I think I should like kind of go through some of the songs because then I will get passionate and won't shut up. But there's a few things, like they all have their own like kind of theme music, every character. So I know there's a lot of characters in the show, but like Sondheim's a genius because he'll write music to like implement like ideas in your head and you don't even realize you're doing it. Like he does things to like help you understand the story and the storytelling without you realizing he's doing it. So like he gives each character their own kind of theme music and it always plays when they come in or it plays underneath the score of them singing or whatever, but it's always like kind of the same thing. And so like when they all come out, first of all, he said before that like the whole story starts with like, the whole show starts with the narrator, which was cut in the freaking movie. He says, once upon a time, which would like make you feel like calm and like, oh, we're reading a story. It's about fairy tales. And the whole theme of like the whole show is like kind of debunking fairy tales and how like they're none of them are true. Fairy tales aren't real, essentially, is what it's saying. Like fairy tales aren't real. They're like, that's not how life works. But anyway, by the way, this is all my opinion. I'm not saying any of this is fact. This is just my opinion. But anyway, so the narrator starts, and Sondheim himself did say that like he wanted everyone to like, he knew everyone would be like calm once they hear that. It's a familiar phrase, once upon a time, and then you hear a story. But before he can finish the sentence, the music comes in and kind of jarring, and it like wakes you up, like it makes you, oh, so it's like, and like immediately starts going. And so you're like, what's going on? So you have to pay attention, and he's trying to make your brain pay attention. But then he puts these little themes in the music. So like, since there's so many characters and so many storylines to follow, which is another reason I think people hate the movie, because it didn't do a very good job of like following all these people and all the different storylines. It's a lot. But in the musical, I feel like it's easy to follow because he like helps you along the way with like the music, so you know what each person is doing. And I don't know, it's okay. There's a lot of wonderful themes and stories within the show, but then there's also, the storytelling is also in the music, which is why I think this show is so brilliant. And so everyone has these wishes and dreams and hopes, and they essentially all get their wishes. All their dreams and wishes come true, but they never learned anything. They didn't grow, and they never learned or changed at all. So they didn't learn how to adapt to this life with their dreams and wishes that have come true. And also all their wishes were very freaking selfish and self-centered. And so since they didn't learn anything, everything kind of just falls apart. They didn't learn how to live with, anyway, oh my God, I'm getting way too much into this. But here, let's just listen to some of the music and let's see how far we get before I like have a heart attack, because I love music so much. We're not gonna listen to the whole soundtrack. We don't have time for that.
Once upon a time, in a farm...
Ew, wait. Oh, I just turned on the movie soundtrack. I'm sorry. Oh, that was so embarrassing. Okay, here's the real one. This is the original.
Once upon a time.
I wish. So all the characters start off with that, I wish. They all start telling you there's what they wish for at the beginning with their little thingy, with their little, I wish.
In a far-off kingdom
More than anything.
lived a fair
More
maiden.
than life.
a
We spell, I wish to go to the festival.
I haven't
I wish. Stepsisters, you wish to go to the festival? The poor girl's mother had died. Come on, it's so good.
It's the witch from next door.
The old enchantress
Bernadette
told the couple
Peters.
she had placed a spell
Cannot be beat.
on their
Bernadette Peters, queen of everything. Get out of here with
When your
her.
mother was with
She's so good.
She developed an unusual...
So good. The Witch's Rap. No one has ever done it better than Bernadette Peters, in my opinion. Okay, so in The Witch's Rap, which is incredible, by Little Miss Bernie, she mentions these beans. And the bean theme is throughout, if you know anything about Into the Woods, you know about the bean theme. The bean theme is throughout the whole freaking show. The whole show is like centered around these beans. These beans are so important, and it like has to do with the witch's magic, and it has to, this is what Jack, he sells his cow to the baker with the beans, but the melody with the beans is and it's throughout the whole freaking show. It's everywhere, these freaking beans, because the beans is like what's causing all the problems, you know? But you can hear it, it's like literally the whole show. Like if you re-listen to the whole show and think about that melody, da, 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 it's everywhere. Like Listen. Even throughout the rap,
She had placed a spell.
listen to the music, okay?
The old enchantress told the couple she had placed a spell on their house.
It's those notes. It's literally the get out of here. Before we've even heard about the beans, we're hearing the bean theme, okay? So then, but the first time they like hand the beans over, it's like dun 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 dun. It's literally everywhere, all over the freaking show. It's so good. Girl, I'm not gonna get into it right now, but the Hello Little Girl song, that's dark. We'll move on.
And the baker gave Jack 5 beans in exchange for his cow.
Here's the beans,
keeping
guys.
1 for himself.
She's everywhere. There it is. Da da da. It's literally the whole freaking show. I guess this is goodbye, old pal.
You've been a perfect friend.
So good. There are rights and wrongs and in-betweens. No one waits when fortune intervenes. She does sing that way. Okay, in the original, she did do it the wrong way. I'm just saying.
Yes.
What matters is that everyone tells tiny lies. What's important really is the size. Only 3 more tries and we'll have our prize. With the end in sight, you'll realize. Listen, the lyrics, his lyrics, so good. Anyway, let's move on. Bean theme, and that's Rapunzel, and that's the part I played in college, guys. Yes, I was in Into the Woods in college, and I played freaking Rapunzel, and it's honestly, no offense Rapunzel, but it's my least favorite part in the show, and I really wanted Baker's Wife and Rapunzel. But little fun fact, did you guys know that there's a song in Into the Woods that was cut that's a duet between Rapunzel and the witch, because the witch is Rapunzel's mom, and we actually put it back in the show when I did it in college. We got to do it. I'll show you some of it. Not me, I don't know where the video of me is doing it, but I'll show you some of the song. Okay, I have not sung this since college. I'm like weird hearing the music. Oh, a little world is good enough for me. Perfect, our little world needs to be perfect. Combing my hair, in my hair. Our little world is perfect. If she just wouldn't drool, or something, I think. I don't remember what the words are. That's the freaking duet that is cut, because it doesn't give much to the show, so it's fine. Okay, anyway, I need to move on. There's so much good stuff. So I think one of the things, okay, I could literally sit through the whole show and like analyze every single song, but then this video would be 17,000 hours long, and I'm tired, and you guys don't want that. No one wants that. But just trust me, do your own research. Like, go look into it if you care, which no one will, because no one cares. But I care. And the music is, and also the bean theme. Okay, so it's throughout the whole show. You hear it all the time. It's like literally almost in every single song. It's either in the music or someone sings it in a melody, but it's inverted at the end when they finally learn the lesson they're supposed to learn. Here, I'll show you. Okay, in No One Is Alone, which is arguably one of the best songs ever in musical theater history, like the lyrics are so freaking good. I feel like Sondheim was so ahead of his time. Oh my god. Okay, anyway, in that, it's finally like the characters are learning a lesson, and they're finally reflecting and taking responsibility for things they've done wrong and working together instead of being selfish to solve the problems that have happened, because it doesn't matter whose fault it is, because the song before they're singing about whose fault, they're blaming each other. No one will take responsibility for the mess because everyone's dying, and like, oh my god, if you don't know the show Into the Woods, this video, and you watch this video, you'd be so confused. But everyone's dying, everything's falling apart, and everything's a mess, and they finally, like, they start blaming each other, and then finally at the end they're like, wait, we have to work together, and they learn their lessons, and that's when finally the bean theme is reversed and flips, and then so dun 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 dun, it goes the opposite way, and what you get is this.
No one's alone.
People make mistakes. That. Fathers, mothers, people make mistakes. That's the bean theme, but backwards. To their own, thinking they're alone. Honor their mistakes. Everybody makes one another's terrible mistakes. Witches can be right, giants can be good.
You decide what's right. You decide what's good. Just remember, someone is on your side. Someone else is not. While we're seeing our side, maybe we forgot they are not alone. Okay, anyway, so that song is so good. So another thing I love about this freaking show is I feel like one of the themes that I've created in my head is like I'm a mother, obviously, and I like to do what I guess is called like gentle parenting, which is like you know, instead of like, hey, listen to me, and instead of as a mom going like, you need to do this because I said so. Like if a kid says, why do I need to do this? You don't go like, because I said so, or like, respect what I said. You have to respect your father and mother. You have to do what I say. That doesn't really work, in my opinion, and with my kids, do whatever works for you. But for me, I don't do that. But that is something that, you know, in my generation, we grew up hearing a lot, like, because I said so, or do what I say, or, you know, you have to do what I say because I'm your parent. Instead, it's more like I let my kids know that, like, I mess up too, and I make mistakes, and I own those things, and I apologize for them. When I try to, at least. I make mistakes all the time, and I never know what I'm doing. But that is my goal, is to teach them, like, that they don't just have to do something just because I said so. It's my job and my responsibility to explain to them, like, if I ask them to do something and they ask why, like, that's a reasonable question, and I should be able to give them an answer that makes sense, as opposed to like, because I said so. And if I make mistakes, I should own up to those things, because I'm not a perfect person, and like, I mess up too. We all mess up, we all make mistakes, and life is hard. And anyway, but I feel like he totally deals with like parenting a lot within this show. And like, the witch is like a horrendous abusive mother, and she has this incredible song that kind of comes throughout the show, where she starts off with children do not obey, children should listen. That's what she says, children should listen. And she's like angry and pissy, and she's like basically like, children should do what I say, children should respect me, and children should listen. And then the next time she sings it, she's like, you know, whatever you, no matter how hard you try, children won't listen. They won't listen to you, and it's annoying. And then by the end, she's saying children will listen. And it's so beautiful, the arc and the change in those lyrics, because it starts off like aggressive, like, listen to me, I'm telling you what to do, you better listen to me, and you better do everything I say. And by the end, she's like, be careful what you say, because children will listen to you, and it's gonna impact them, and it's gonna affect them. So careful what you say, careful what you do. Be cautious and aware and mindful about the things you're saying and the things you're teaching to children and the way you're acting around children, because they're going to listen to you, and that's going to affect them, and that's going to affect how they end up. And that's another reason why it's infuriating that they cut the narrator and the old man from the movie, because the old man, the baker's dad, literally left when he was a baby, like left him. And then at the end, like, the baker's about to leave his child. He's like, gets overwhelmed by it, and he's like, I'm gonna leave. And he's like starting to redo the cycle that his father did, until his father comes in and is like, hey, no more, don't do that. Like, you need to go be a dad, and he has to learn a lesson, and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, if you don't know Into the Woods, literally this is the worst video you've ever seen in my life. I hope you're not watching if you've never seen Into the Woods, because this will make no sense to you. But there's so many good, like, themes and lessons and stuff. There's so many lyrics. You guys, the show is so freaking good. I feel like this is the worst video ever because it's so disjointed. I feel like I need to like write an essay about it and then like have like a bullet pointed like good video to show you, because I'm not helping my case. I feel like I wanted to do this to be like, no, look how good Into the Woods is, but really I'm just going to confuse people and make people probably hate it more. But like, listen to the lyrics. Okay, I'm gonna find a good one. I could literally click on any song. But like, Moments in the Woods, I love this song. Oh my god, the lyrics are so clever. Must it all be either less or more, either plain or grand? Is it always, or is it never end? That's what woods are for those moments in the woods. Oh, if life were made of moments, even now and then a bad one. But if life were only moments, then you'd never know you had one. Hello? First a witch, then a child, then a prince, then a moment who can live in the woods. And to get what you wish only just for a moment, these are dangerous woods. Let the moment go, don't forget it for a moment though. Just just remembering you've had an and when you're back to or makes the or mean more than it did before. Now I understand, and it's time to leave the woods. Oh, the lyrics, you guys, he's so clever, he's so witty with his lyrics. They're so like, you just chew on them. They're so good. Oh my gosh. Children may not obey, but children will listen. Children will look to you for which way to turn to learn what to be. Careful before you say, listen to me. Children will listen. You guys, the show. Wishes come true, not free. Wishes come true, not free. Oh, come on, those lyrics, get out of here. Careful the tale you tell, that is the spell. Children will listen. Oh. Careful the tale you tell, that is the spell. Like you could cast a spell on your children if you're not paying attention to the things you're saying to them, and you could set them up for failure, because the whole show is about like how a spell was cast and everything's falling apart and everyone's being selfish, no one's learning anything, and everyone's just like completely falling apart because they don't have the tools to like succeed in this world where there's a spell and you know. No One Is Alone is another good one too. I'm not gonna keep doing this, but go listen to No One Is Alone. Oh my god, the way I weep when I listen to that song, it's so freaking good. Like, have you ever, like, when I've been feeling really depressed, I listen to that song and I just weep. No One Is Alone. Literally so good. Oh, that was what I was gonna say earlier, is that like with the gentle parenting thing, like, I love that there's lyrics in here that's people make mistakes, fathers, mothers, like even fathers and mothers, the people who put on a pedestal and you have to do everything they say because they're always right. Like, no, they make mistakes too. They mess up. And recognize that they make mistakes and honor those mistakes and don't make the same mistakes as them, and then understand they're human and people make mistakes. Like, it's just, oh, it's all so good. Like, no one is alone. Truly, no one is alone. Sometimes people leave you halfway through the wood. Others may deceive you. You decide what's good. You decide alone. But no one is alone.
I wish.
I know.
You
are not alone. Believe me, no one is
No
alone.
one is alone, believe me.
You move just a finger, say the slightest word, something's bound to linger, be heard.
No one is alone. Careful, no one is alone. People make mistakes.
A bean theme.
Fathers,
Mothers, people make mistakes, holding to their own, thinking they're alone. Honor their mistakes. Everybody makes one another's terrible mistakes. Witches can be right, giants can be good. You decide what's right, you decide what's good. That's so great too. It's like you're always taught what's good and what's bad. And a lot of times growing up, like, you're indoctrinated to believe, you know, whatever, good things or bad things, who knows. But like giving the lesson to children, like, you get to decide for yourself. You get to have a brain of your own and you get to decide what is good and what's bad. And, you know, like, I just think that's so important, like, to let kids form their own thoughts and their own opinions on things and help guide them, but like let them make their own decisions for themselves. Like the lyric, witches can be, like, you know, you're always taught as a kid in this scenario, witches are bad
giants are bad. In this story, they've been bad. They're like, well, witches can be nice, and giants can be good. Like, but you get to decide what you think. Like, I don't know. I just think that's so great. Like, to not, there's so many, I could go on and on and on. I feel like I'm not expressing myself right, but I just think it's so good.
Just remember.
Just remember,
Someone is on your side.
our side.
Someone else is not. While we're seeing our side, maybe we forgot they are not alone. No one is alone. Hard to see the light now.
Just don't let it go.
Things will come out right now. We can make it so. Someone is on your side.
Come on now. The show. Girl. Okay, I need to stop. This video is probably an hour long. Oh, and it's probably of nothingness. It's probably just me like freaking out and not finishing sentences because I'm getting too excited. Okay. Sorry, this is the worst video ever. I really like Into the Woods. And don't listen to me. This is the worst video ever. Just like go listen to the original cast album, watch the PBS special, read the lyrics, look into like the deeper meanings behind everything, and just listen to and read the lyrics and analyze them for yourself and be like, oh my god, these are genius. Because they are. It's just so good. I just think it's such a good musical. It's rare that you have a musical where the storyline is good, the character development is good, the music is also telling the story along with the characters, and there's like themes within the show that are like innuendos and things that are like under this behind the scenes that you like really have to think about to figure out what is this actually talking about in society, what does this character represent in society. And then the music is also doing this. Oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. This is the best musical. It's just so good. Okay, goodbye.